According to former Republican Congressman Mike Huckabee in 2010, people with pre-existing conditions are burned down houses. He said this in response, as a talking point, as casually as a cough in polite conversation, as serious as a diagnosis. But all I could hear was that crackling sound wood makes as fire consumes it. All I could smell was smoke and bullshit. Bullshit because Mike worked his words into a spell or a curse and let millions of people be recast as objects. I smelled smoke because in 1996 I became a burned down house with a diabetes diagnosis. In my memories of that night, I am crying. My family is crying. But according to Mr. Huckabee, my mom must have been crying because it was too painful to watch her son turn from person into property. Mr. Huckabee, I don't know how to tell you that your words have consequences. I don't know how to tell you that you should care about your constituents. So I am attempting to tell you that I am human. I am not object. I am not house. I am not floorboard. I should not be used as one of the planks to create your platform. I am telling you that your words would have left me with nothing but ash. I am saying that if I had thought of myself as nothing but a burned down house, I would have remained a cremation and never would have been able to return as a phoenix. This poem wouldn't be so necessary and I wouldn't be so goddamn angry if Republican Representative Pat Toomey hadn't said the exact same thing as Mr. Huckabee, but in 2017. Dear Republicans, I don't know how to tell you that your policies have consequences. I don't know how to tell you that your words keep having this habit of ending up as other people's epitaphs. According to Raul Labrador, a Republican representative from Idaho, no one has ever died because they don't have access to health care. In 2009, there were 45,000 reasons a year that this statement was a lie. In 2017, there are still 18,000 reasons a year that this statement is a lie. Before any healthcare reform was passed, I remember being terrified of day-to-day living because diabetes is a disease that turns food into poison and insulin into antidote. So there is no such thing as comfort food. When I wasn't sure if I'd have enough insulin to cover my meals, I can feel that same terror creep into the back of my head every time I remember that healthcare is on this administration's chopping block docket, and it is exhausting to always be terrified. Dear Congress, I don't know how to tell you that your policies make you terrorists for the chronically ill and disabled. I don't know how to tell you that you cannot be both pro-life and anti-universal health care. If people die due to your writing the laws of this land, then those people's blood is on your hands. I don't know how to tell you that I am sick of needing to prove myself as human. I don't know how to stop you from seeing me as a house, but I do know that being on fire for the past 21 years has made me an expert at rebuilding. So I am telling you that you need to help us rebuild this system or you will get left behind in its ash.